It officially has been retired. Yes, this is the first time that I've known Scopely actually announced they're retiring a mechanic from the game, but it's not the first mechanic that they've decided, you know what, we're not going to do this anymore. There are a number. But because we actually have an official announcement today, and it was actually a big part which a lot of players did actually partake in, it's definitely worth a video. So, as we say goodbye to Sarris Invasions, let's see what is actually going to become of the event store and the ship and the other stuff around it, and also my general opinion. Hi, my name is Admiral Pegasus and welcome to the channel. So, Hammy dropped yesterday, literally less than 24 hours ago of me recording this video, that Invasions is done. That is it. They will not be doing it again. And to be perfectly honest, seasoned players like myself, we should have kind of seen this coming, given the fact that they just simply don't turn it on. And that's usually one of the big problems with Scopely, is the fact they just don't turn some things on. And so now they've actually decided, you know what, we don't need this. So it is a shame, but luckily there is sourcing for some of the other stuff. But anyway, so in the recent kind of state of the game update, is that what you call it? State of the game. We talked about the intention of the intention with what we ship. Oh, yeah, that's deliver. Let me get it right in my own head. That means fewer events for the sake of events. And more focus on meaningful progression and clear rewards and a healthier day-to-day experience. Now, yes, the game is absolutely bloated with content and they are trying to cut certain things back. And they've not retired a load, but yeah. And we've also got new things coming as well for the independent archive as well, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. So, Sarris Invasions and the associated Fatu Cray content have not consistently met the bar enough for you. Again, as I've just previously mentioned, turn it on. That's all it is. It's a case of remembering to turn it on. They created ongoing complexity for the live game without delivering the level of clarity, excitement, or impact we wanted our live events to have. If you don't turn it on, you don't make a big deal of it, no, you're not going to achieve that kind of level of impact, are you? But hey-ho. But the one thing as well is a lot of players are developing as well. The hostiles are getting easier. I could now hit the top level hostiles with my Ent D, and she would be taking hours just to die against these things. She'd end up with a full cargo bay on more than one occasion. So, but yeah, and that's only 3.3 million. So, as part of the work to streamline the experience and invest in the right places, we are permanently sunsetting Sarris Invasions and updating you on how you can use your remaining resources. Below you will find out what is changing and obviously how to use your currencies and where you'll continue to find the rewards like the Galactic Acclaims and Gwen DeMarco. Now, they have released a compo chest which has been split into 2 different areas. I will cover that just a little bit. In fact, I'll tell you what, let's just quickly get that up on the screen now. So here we go. Ops 25 will receive 10 DeMarco shards and 10,000 depot tokens. Ops 42 plus will receive 10 DeMarco shards and 1,200 Galactic Acclaims. To be honest, I would rather have had the Officer Depot tokens. Ops 65, I'd rather have them. Yes, the Galactic Acclaim is brilliant, but I'm getting a regular source of them. So, yeah, at the end of the day, it is what it is. So let's jump back into it. They did have to do an update to the notes because a few of us brought up, what about this? What about this? Which wasn't mentioned, so they had to go chasing that information. So now, the ship you will still be able to source. We'll find that a little bit further down, so do not worry too much about that. So what is happening then? So obviously it's been discontinued. The invasion, the store and the related bundles will remain available for 1 month only. Yes, we're going for starting in the first week of January. We're going for basically near enough a full month of it. It's just basically just for January for you to spend the loot as and when. Will they actually run an extra run of Sarris invasions just to say goodbye? I don't know. I'm not expecting it to, with the fact they're saying that they are retiring it now. I very much doubt that they're going to do it. Say, what's the point of, as well, running an event store for a month to say, spend your loot, but we're going to give you the event just to actually do it. I mean, I think personally, it should be ran one last time as a farewell, but that's just me. We may extend this window if needed, so commanders have enough time to spend the resources. So there is that potential to extend it. We will clearly communicate these timelines so players can prepare accordingly. So what can you do with the existing resources? Well, let's say they're going to open the store for the first week of January, and this is how it's going to work. The blue particle accelerators will be exchanged for Dominion salvage. Sarris Dominion salvage. The salvage itself will continue to be used in its normal... Excuse me. So the salvage will continue to be used in its normal bundles and exchanges. And you can keep converting salvage through existing bundles during the exchange period. So that's just during January. That is it. The scraps, they will remain open. These bundles will offer increased pulls per cooldown, so you can convert scraps more quickly. Now, that's a little bit vague because they're saying they're closing it down, but yet this, to me, says it's going to remain open. Now, is this going to be past January? I don't know. I'm going to say, to cover myself, no, it's not going to last past January. If it does, that's going to be a bonus for players, but hopefully they'll give us more information about how that's going to work. The eye patches will be available to exchange in the store during the exchange window for the first week of January. Now, this is where I'm getting that confusion comes in, because they're saying the scraps will remain open, but yet they're being explicit here, saying it's the first week starting. It's just going to be when that exchange window opens in the first week of January. So, yeah, I could U-turn and say, yes, it's going to remain open, but I don't want to say that, and then people turn around and say, well, Pegasus said it's going to stay open. No, so I'm going to say, no, it's not going to, it's only going to be during January, and that's it. That way, if it stays open, we've got a bonus out of it. I'd rather you turn around and say, well, you said it was going to close. Well, Scopely decided to keep it open. There you go. I did actually say that in the video. There might be a possibility. So, but anyway, we encourage you to check your inventory and use the exchange options during the time, so no invasion currency is left unused. Great. Can you sort the inventory out so we can actually find the bloody stuff? That would be a good start, because it's a pain in the ass trying to find anything in there. But, yeah. So, where can I find the Galactic Acclaims and DeMarco Shards? Well, starting off with the Galactic Acclaims, they are available in the refinery outpost refinery, sorry. You can collect them on a daily basis. I think it's something like 50 a day. I do it every single day because obviously I do outposts every couple of days at least. So, yeah, they are there available. And they're also going to be in the offers tab. Get your money. So they will be in there. Gwen DeMarco Shards, obviously, as well, going to be, she's available in the Depot store and the Augment Faction store. So at least we're going to have continued sourcing for Gwen DeMarco. So I will show these off in the game as well. Why invasions being removed? This changes directly to align with the direction set out in the State of the Game message. We are streaming the live game. Actions, not words. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Put your money where your mouth is. If you're going to streamline the game, do it. If not, don't make us promises like this. But we'll wait and see. So we want events to feel intentional and rewarding, something that exists only to fill a schedule. Removing lower impact features lets us reinvest time and attention into stability, fixes, mid-ops improvements, outposts, and new experiences for much better to better match your feedback. Sorry. Now, okay, that's great. That is great. However, stability. We've been on about stability for years. The amount of content dropping. I've turned it that way so it doesn't look like I'm swearing. The amount of content dropping. Great, we need stuff to do. However, it's causing a problem. How many of the current engineers today understand the basic code of the game from day one? Because that's, I think, that potentially is where part of the problem is. Also, as I've just mentioned, inventory. Too much stuff in it. It's silly things like this that are causing the problems to stability. I'm sure there are many more problems that causes stability. And I'm sure you could drop it in the comment section down below if you really want to. What you feel is causing the stability issues. The problem is not keeping on top of everything. We've got currencies in the inventory that have been there since 2020. Why? We don't need them. Let us convert them into Latinum or something. You know, something easy. But we'll get on to that. Sarris Sunsetting Invasions is part of a cleanup of the overall event ecosystem so that when you see content appear, it's there for a strong reason. I'm sure there's still a fair whack of players that used to do this. I saw a fair, even G7, before G7 launched, G7 players still doing some of this. Because they were doing things like Gwen DeMarco, going for the Galactic Acclaimed, going for some of the loot in the event store. They were still doing it because they wanted to. But whether they enjoyed it or not, it's another story. But anyway, so when will the exchanges be available? Well, again, as already previously mentioned several times, first week of January will run for approximately 1 month, with the possibility of an extension. Now, to be perfectly frank, right, we won't need an extension on this, but I'm sure there's going to be players who are going to say, oh, I forgot it was on, and things like that. You've got plenty of time to spend it. It's not something you need to save up. So, during this time, obviously, you'll be able to exchange your invasion directives for Dominion Salvage, use the salvage in its normal bundles, convert scraps to with increased pulls per cooldown, yay, and eye patches, exchange the eye patches in the invasion store. Now, to me, you need to cut the prices as well, because the problem is some players are going to have odd figures below one chest. They're going to have low figures. So unless that Dominion Salvage is going to be really worth something, I think there's still going to be players with some loot left, but I'm sure that's something we can pin on them when the time comes. Is this a permanent removal or temporary? It's permanent. And this is another reason why I'm doing this video, and they've actually officially announced it, because it is a permanent. There are no plans to bring it back. So, yeah. So, invasion packs, what's going to happen with them? Well, the only packs linked to this feature will be in the web store. These are the directive packs, which will no longer run once it's been removed and the exchange period has concluded. Now, to me, that's actually a sign that they are going to run this one more time. That's a sign that they are going to run this one more time, but I'm not saying they will. It would be nice if they did give it the last hurrah. Is that the way you would say it? Yeah, last hurrah, not hoorah. Hurrah. So, it would be nice if they did, but again, let's not expect it. But yeah. So, how will you source the protector if I don't currently have it? Well, you will be able to source it through the Ferengi store, as is the primary sourcing. We will also be reviewing additional sourcing options as part of our ongoing updates and events and progressions. Let me get my words right. And we'll share more details in the future once it's finalised. Now, one good place for me, I would say, is Cosmic Cleanup. Put it in there. You've got all the older ships in there. Let's put that in there as well. You've even got the Sarko, the ship that was is literally the biggest one-trick pony in the game. So put it in Cosmic Cleanup. That's the way I see it. Yeah. So how can you get the Salt Shaker hailing frequency if you actually do like your frequencies? Hailing frequencies, sorry. Unfortunately, there is no way currently for sourcing this, but they are exploring options. Yes. They should have quotation that, Mark. They're exploring options, so hopefully they will get it sorted at some point, and you will be able to have your very own Salt Shaker. Is there any compensation for losing this feature? Yes, as I've already just pointed out. Oh, they've actually dropped it here. So we've already been through that earlier on in the video. So Invasions was not living up to expectations. It's part of a broader feedback we've heard on events. Well, like I said, it got boring. There's still a lot of players doing it, but it got boring. They got easy to kill. Retiring it and cleaning up its currencies is one step in a larger shift towards clearing more intentional content that respects your time, supports progression, and feels worth engaging with. Thank you for your feedback, Hammy. Okay, Star Trek Fleet Command team. Cracking. So, let's get the game up. Okay, so let's talk about some of the sourcing places where they've actually mentioned. So we're going to jump straight into Outposts, and if we scroll across, you're going to see that chest there is going to take the retaliation loot from doing Outposts to do it. It is a chest on its own, so it's available. Now, Premium Mirror Dust is another one. This was mentioned in CBD's live stream by one of his viewers, that G4 cannot access Premium Dust. There was another item as well. Oh yeah, it was the Galactic Acclaims. Because Outposts is Ops 51 plus, how's this going to affect G4? Well, I did actually put that in general chat in the official Discord with tagged Hammy in it. I never saw an actual response from Hammy on this one, but the general consensus amongst the players was credit card, get your money out. That was it. But I believe somebody said something about it was supposed to be specifically for like G5 and above players, but they wanted to make more money out of it by extending it lower. So we'll have to wait and see how that forms. If it doesn't fall for the G4 players, that's going to be really disappointing, because the Protector itself is actually a G4 ship. Can you get it in G4? Can you get it in G3? I'm going to say G4. I could be wrong, but I think that's it. So those two are going to be here if you are Ops 51 and above. If you are below, sorry, at the minute, I don't know how you're going to source this, which is sad, really. It is really sad. Why have I got that? Oh, okay, Crucible of War. Yeah, fair dues. Right, Gwen DeMarco. Officer Depot tokens, obviously they've said. So if we scroll across now, let me have a look, because I've got to be careful. There she goes. So there she is on the far side. So you're going to be able to get Gwen DeMarco in here for a staggering 4,000 tokens each time, or 80,000. So by the looks of this, I can get 20 shards. I'm still going to be 4 shards short. I could still actually take her to... What tier have I got her at? Potentially tier 2, I think it is. So, but I don't really use her that much. And then obviously there is the Augment Faction Store, which will just quickly show... Oh, actually, I don't think I've got her in the Augment Store. I think I've already claimed her. Oh, no, there she is on the far side there. So, quick look at the price here. So, you're going to need your Wraith Choice tokens and 50 shards each. So, yeah, I can send her to tier 2 just from this chest. So, there are options for you to be able to source her. I think there was there a chest in this particular Reliant section as well with her in? I don't recall it, but hey-ho. So that's them two. The Protector itself, like they said, is going to be in the Ferengi Pass, which we don't currently have running right now. But if we have a look at the... No, that's just refits, donut. Officers. No, we don't actually have the... we don't have any of the chests up at the minute. So, obviously, the Ferengi Pass will appear in here, the Season Passes. So, watch out for that one. I can't give you costings on prices, unfortunately. I can't remember them from the last one because I don't need the ship. I've got it. So, but anyway, down to you how you actually do this now. Like I say, if you are a G4 player, then I do apologise the fact that I can't give you more information about how you're going to source things like that. So let's have a look. So if we put it in order of shipyard, actually, this will give us a better idea of what shipyard gets us. So the Valdor, that's a 42. So they're 42. Revenant, Enterprise. There you go. So there she is right there in between the Eviscerator and the NX-01. And that comes after the Jellyfish, Cerritos. Give me a faction ship. Wow. Okay, so it looks like it gets released in G3. The Augur... Yeah, that's a... Right, so the Augur is actually a G3 Epic. So it potentially is early G4. So yes, it does say 4-star Epic on it. So yeah. That's it. Now, other content that they have, I will just quickly throw this in here. Other content that they actually have retired, but not officially actually said they're retiring it. But we know they have because we don't have any of the loot anymore. Is going to be things like the worms. These were like, yeah, right, whatever. The Doomsday Worms. They retired this. The oh, what is it? Is it that system we've got it in? I think it's this system. Yep, this system. The big or where you had to go blow these fishes and that up. You needed scraps for these. Directives and that, but they don't source them anymore. So that's like another piece of content that they quietly retired, but just didn't bother telling us that they were actually retiring it. So, but as a heads up for next year, they're bringing back the TOS arc as well as the motion picture as well, which is starting in January. I actually thought January would see Academy come as the first arc of 2026, given the fact that Star Trek Academy is dropping in the middle of January 2026. But no, that's going to be left for a little bit later on. So we've got the motion picture, we've got the original series coming back. I think they said something about TNG as well. It is in the video of the 7-year anniversary. If I remember, I will tag it in the comment section, or at least in the description of this video. Also, like I said, the Independent Archives is also receiving an update as well, bringing in the... Why is my phone downloading all the time? The only thing I can think of is there was some sort of an update. But obviously the Independent Archives, you can see I've got mine leveling up. What you are going to get is you are in December 2025 is you are going to get the Meridian. Please remember, as a oh God's sake, we'll do it this way. As a prerequisite to max these things out, these pillars, you need to at least get to the top tier. So in this case, for the Meridian and the upcoming Mantis in February, they will need to be tier 9. So Meridians are relatively easy and straightforward to get to tier 9, especially if you are a G5, G6 player. You should have that much if you've been mining Isogen, that is. So you should be able to upgrade them pretty reasonably. The Mantis is going to be a little bit more problematic because you need to go through the loop. But if we just quickly mention as well, in the faction stores, Xborg faction store, we already have the Mantis efficiency, which is going to give you the acting venom, which is what you need to defeat the hostiles. If you can do the 7 chests, that would be your best. That'll be your best bet. And then obviously go get it upgraded. And also the Meridian is also available here with Isogen. Again, if you can do the 8 ones, it saves you mining the damn stuff. But we'll jump over quickly to the Mantis refinery. If I can remember where it is. Oh, I forgot where it is. There it is. Actually says Mantis. In here, synthetic nitrium, that's what you need. This is for a tier 12. Not a tier 12. Yeah, yes, a tier 12 Mantis. Sorry, the Mantis is 12 tiers. This is the cost of what it's going to cost you to get it. There are no efficiencies for this. So sadly, you will need to get it. There is a... Actually, no, there isn't a bonus. Sorry. Get a bonus amount. So go looking for that. Research, again, you don't really need to do the research stuff if you don't need to. I haven't. My Mantis can take out the top level of these without too much of a hassle. But again, as well, this area is going to be prime for sourcing your Strange New Worlds, the original set of officers, without Una, of course. The Meridian as well. Let's just have a quick look at Meridian in the territory tree. Obviously, you've got all these, and all these are going to be moved. Look, I can look at this chest. Iso emulsion for research, refined isogen, and progenitor alloy. Progenitor alloys come for this, and which is what you're going to need for the services in territories. And your iso emulsion can be used in here to get the particles, which you will need towards your research. So if you've not maxed your galaxy tree out yet, is it the galaxy tree? I think it's the galaxy tree. You still need to be doing this. So having the Meridian going in this month, December, is going to be nice. So you'll be able to get these. Now, are you going to get these kind of levels? I don't know. But Metron particles was always the worst one. Chance. I'm not going to pull it. You know, actually, you know what? I need to waste some of it. I've got 16.9 million. So, let's just see what would happen. What's my RNG on the Metreon? I didn't get it. So, but I've got the other 3 particles. That's fine. And obviously, they're still on the cooldown. But there we go. So, that's what we've got coming up. So, to end it, some nice news at the end of it. It's a shame that Sarris invasions are going, but to be perfectly honest, Scopely don't make a big song and dance about them. There's been no update on them. They might as well just simmer away. So, that all being said, now, a little bit on a different side. Now, those of you who follow my channel for the last few years know, obviously my aim was to go for the NDA. I did apply for the official content creators program with Scopely. Emails were sent out yesterday. Sadly, I was not part of that group. I've got my theories why, and the biggest one is the fact my content I've not produced as much. But there is another chance in February that maybe I might see an NDA then. So hopefully, for the next couple of months, we're going to see a bit of an uptake in content. But again, if I can find some as well. But like I say, as well, I'm actually transferring myself over to the PC version of doing videos and editing. I have got one currently in editing. However, I had a hissy fit, a big hissy fit with CapCut. I know I haven't messaged them, but I'll spend hours editing the latest video that will be posted after this one now. Only to find they wanted me to give them £22 a month just to export it to YouTube. Thanks very much, CapCut. subscription just to actually export. But I can sit there and spend hours editing a video. I was not a happy bunny. But anyway, I've calmed down a bit now. I found another one. I spoke to a couple of content creators about what they use for video editing. They've given me their opinions. I've looked at them and I've settled on the one that I'm going with, which is, it's not the best, but it'll work. But anyway, watch out for that video. It's G5 Epics. My opinion, and going through as well, just showing them off and actually building them. And it was recorded a few days before this one, but it will come out within the next week after this video. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope, well, give me your opinions on Sarris Invasions. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Are you glad to see it retired? Are you sad to see it retired? I'm sort of 50-50. I'm sad it's going, but at the end of the day, I can see why. And it don't bother me because there were times I didn't partake in it. But anyway, thanks for joining me. Smash the like button if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Until then, I'm Admiral Pegasus. Stay safe, live long and prosper. And I shall catch you on the next video. Until then, take care, guys. Goodbye.